Hey guys, it's the Gundam Boy, and I have a question. What the f is the airburst? See, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I did not like the airburst rocket launcher when it first came out. Like, great, something to shoot down bug swarms. I could do that with my sickle, and it's not like I hated the airburst. I just didn't understand what role it fulfilled. It was such a niche role. After spending some time with this rocket launcher, though, I can tell you that it fulfills an anti-air and crowd control role. So here you have two settings, flak and cluster. Flak meaning it goes boom in the air, and cluster means it goes boom on the ground. But when this weapon initially came out, it was used to kill just lying swarms of Terminids. In the past, I don't even remember it being able to shoot down gunships. And that's probably due to the fact that everybody who used it in the past would kill you first. It was like the baby's first cluster bomb strike. But now you have someone running around with it, and then they kill you, and kill you, and kill you, and kill you. But the flak has no problem shooting down gunships, though it still performs the same against bug swarms. Nothing really changed on that end. Also, it is good to note that the two firing modes have different ranges. Airburst can fire at its typical range, or it can detect an enemy or a teammate and go off prematurely. Cluster has a much smaller range, but the projectile goes off at a set time. This allows you to do some neat things other than killing yourself. Aiming the rocket upwards, with Cluster you can shoot a ring of explosive around you, or if you're anticipating a horde behind a cover or streets like in the Illuminate missions, you can fire your rocket overhead and rain down firepower. And depending on the difficulty and mission modifiers, you may not run into a lot of air targets while using this weapon, which means you're probably going to use it as a crowd control weapon. And despite not being able to kill things like factory starter units, it can still damage a lot of smaller heavy enemies. If you shoot underneath a charger, it kills them since its underside is so fleshy, but against hulks it can kill them if it feels like it. And against tripods, it really doesn't do too much. I don't know why people fire it at this thing. But this is a rocket launcher for crowd control. That's a weapon roll with air units? Nah. Horde control? Yes. You can use this rocket launcher to destroy any of the faction bases through their front door. And another thing to note is that 17 meters is either a kill zone or a push you over zone. Anything closer than that and you're gonna kill yourself. And within its combat role, it doesn't really seem to struggle against any of the enemies that they get thrown against, because this thing will just crowd control all. But where does this weapon fall in the combat roles? We have the machine gun family, which can crowd control with more direct fire and more consistency with lower reload times, while allowing you to pick from light, medium, and heavy pen options. It also allows you to go against flying targets. You're not really limited. But then there's the rocket family, which is made for heavy units. It's made for heavy killers. We have the grenade launcher. It's a crowd controller. We got laser cannon, quasar cannon, both being target heavy weapons. And you know, autocannon is the jack of all trades. We all know that. But the airburst, it's a kind of wonky weapon in terms of what role it fulfills, other than being a major team killer. But I think the airburst fulfills a very uncommon role that we forget about. The medium pen killer role. And I don't hate the airburst, but it's definitely not my first to grab. But in a short sentence, we have the airburst rocket launcher, a multi-role anti-air and crowd control with medium pen and it's capable of team killing. Be sure to leave in the comments what you guys want me to cover next.